Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
15 questions you should know. So, let's start. מאיפה אתה? Where are you from? מאיפה אתה? Where are you from? And if you want to ask a female, it's מאיפה את? אני מתל אביב. I am from תל אביב. בן כמה אתה? How old are you? בן כמה אתה? How old are you? For a female, it would be בת כמה את? I'm not gonna answer that one. מה שמך? What's your name? מה שמך? What is your name? For a female, מה שמך? A more common way of asking that would be איך קוראים לך? Or for a female, איך קוראים לך? Which literally mean how are you called? מה שלומך? How are you? מה שלומך? Or מה שלומך for a woman, and this is how are you? How do you feel? מה זה? What's this? מה זה? What is this? מה זה? Some people use it as what? Like, what did you say? מה זה? But most of the times it's used when you want to know what a thing is. Excuse me? מה זה? מה אמרת? What did you say? מה אמרת? What did you say? And for a female, מה אמרת? לא אמרתי כלום. I didn't say anything. איפה אתה עובד? Where do you work? איפה אתה עובד? Where do you work? And for a female, איפה את עובדת? איפה השירותים? Where is the bathroom? Memorize this one. איפה השירותים? Where is the bathroom? Excuse me. איפה השירותים? איפה אתה גר? Where do you live? איפה אתה גר? Where do you live? Or for a female, איפה את גרה? מתי יום ההולדת שלך? When is your birthday? מתי יום ההולדת שלך? When is your birthday? For a female, מתי יום ההולדת שלך? כמה זמן אתה לומד עברית? How long have you been studying Hebrew? כמה זמן אתה לומד עברית? How long have you been studying Hebrew? For a female, כמה זמן את לומדת עברית? איפה למדת עברית? Where did you learn Hebrew? איפה למדת עברית? Where did you study Hebrew? Or for a female, איפה למדת עברית? That's an easy question. HebrewPod101.com. היית בישראל? Have you been to Israel? היית בישראל? Have you been to Israel? For a female, היית בישראל? Well, have you? אתה אוהב אוכל ישראלי? Do you like Israeli food? אתה אוהב אוכל ישראלי? Do you like Israeli food? And for a female, את אוהבת אוכל ישראלי? איפה אתה רוצה לבקר? Where do you want to visit? איפה אתה רוצה לבקר? Where do you want to visit? Or for a female, איפה את רוצה לבקר? 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Okay, are you ready? Let's start. אני אדבר עברית ברמת שפת אם תוך 3 שנים. I'll speak Hebrew in a native level in 3 years. אני אדבר עברית ברמת שפת אם תוך 3 שנים. I'll speak Hebrew in a native level in 3 years. You think you can? Well, prove it. Start now. אני יכולה לצפות בסרטים בעברית ללא כתוביות. I can watch movies in Hebrew without subtitles. אני יכולה לצפות בסרטים בעברית ללא כתוביות. I can watch movies in Hebrew without subtitles. There actually are a lot of good movies done in Israel in the last, 10 years. Obviously more, but if you want to, be updated. A few of my favorite are Jellyfish, which is amazingly good, I think. And another one who was actually nominated for the Academy Awards called Waltz עם Bashir, Waltz with Bashir, I think. It's a really good movie. אני יכולה לשנן בערך 50 מילים חדשות בעברית ביום. I can memorize around 50 new Hebrew words a day. אני יכולה לשנן בערך 50 מילים חדשות בעברית ביום. I can memorize around 50 new Hebrew words a day. That's crazy, can you? You say that to me and I will be amazed. Just saying. אני לומדת עברית כבר 10 שנים. I've been learning Hebrew for 10 years. אני לומדת עברית כבר 10 שנים. I've been learning Hebrew for 10 years. Well, that would only amaze me if you don't speak Hebrew at this point, because learning a language for 10 years and not being able to speak it, well, that is amazing. אני לומדת עברית לגמרי לבד. I'm learning Hebrew all by myself. אני לומדת עברית לגמרי לבד. I'm learning Hebrew all by myself. That is impressive. How do you do that? With HebrewPod101.com? Well, in Israel, when we're impressed, we have this sound that we make. It goes, psh. Okay, so this is what you say when you're impressed. All by yourself? Psh. I am amazed. You know what? Amazed. הבנתי את כל מה שאמרת. I understood everything you said. That's a funny one. הבנתי את כל מה שאמרת. I understood everything you said. I hope you understand everything I say. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. But you know what? Props to you. חוץ מעברית, אני יכולה לדבר גם כמה שפות אחרות. Apart from Hebrew, I can speak a few other languages as well. Well, that's just bragging. חוץ מעברית, אני יכולה לדבר גם כמה שפות אחרות. Apart from Hebrew, I can speak a few other languages as well. Well, you don't need to brag, okay? I only have 2. How many languages can you speak? Leave a comment below. Make us jealous. לקח לי רק שנה אחת על מנת לדבר בשטף. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. לקח לי רק שנה אחת על מנת לדבר בשטף. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Well, I am amazed by that because, as you probably already know, Hebrew is a difficult language to learn, but I think it's doable. עברית היא כיפית וקלה ללמידה. Hebrew is fun and easy to learn. עברית היא כיפית וקלה ללמידה. Hebrew is fun and easy to learn. I would be happy if you think that. Yeah, do you agree? Is Hebrew fun and easy to learn? Hope it is. תודה, אבל זו לא שפת האם שלי למען האמת. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. תודה, אבל זו לא שפת האם שלי למען האמת. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. You're not a native speaker? Then, you're really good. One that would really amaze me will be, למדתי את כל זה אתמול. I learned all of that yesterday. Must have been a busy day.
10 top phrases to help you in an emergency. Let's start. התקשר למשטרה בבקשה. Call the police, please. התקשר למשטרה בבקשה. Call the police, please. If it's really an emergency, you don't have to say please. Alright? יש לך חום? Do you have a fever? יש לך חום? Do you have a fever? If you do have a fever and it's not just like a cold or something, you really should see a doctor. It's really important. איבדתי את הדרכון שלי. I lost my passport. איבדתי את הדרכון שלי. I lost my passport. You can also say passport and people will understand because sometimes in Hebrew we say passport, but usually we say darkon from the word derech, which means way, because it gives way for you to go places. אני לא מרגיש טוב. I don't feel well. אני לא מרגיש טוב. I don't feel well. That's a very general way of saying that you're not feeling well, but if you're at the doctor's office, you will have to specify a little bit further than that. אני צריך רופא. I need a doctor. אני צריך רופא. I need a doctor. Doctor in Hebrew is רופא, and if you translate it to English, it basically means like a healer, but it's not like the cosmic kind of a healer with the gems and crystals. It's just like that's the meaning of the word. אני לא מצליח למצוא את הדרך חזרה למלון שלי. I can't find the way back to my hotel. אני לא מצליח למצוא את הדרך חזרה למלון שלי. I can't find the way back to my hotel. Luckily today, most people have smartphones and they have a map application, so you can ask pretty much anybody to just put the address or the name of the hotel and they can show you how to go. So that's a big relief. יש בית מרקחת בסביבה? Is there a pharmacy nearby? יש בית מרקחת בסביבה? Is there a pharmacy nearby? In Israel, on Saturdays, usually most pharmacies and any other shops are closed, but there's always one that's supposed to be open 24/7. So if it is Saturday and you're stuck, you should ask for this specific one that is open. אתה יכול לעזור לי? Can you help me? אתה יכול לעזור לי? Can you help me? To help in Hebrew is לעזור. And I ask that for people a lot when I'm at the supermarket and I can't reach the top shelf. אני צריך אמבולנס. I need an ambulance. אני צריך אמבולנס. I need an ambulance. Luckily, that's the same word in Hebrew as it is in English, so whoever you say that to, they would understand even if you don't know the rest of the sentence. It's good enough that you say ambulance and they'll get it. They will call. היכן בית החולים? Where is the hospital? היכן בית החולים? Where is the hospital? In Hebrew, the word hospital is translated to sick people's home. So beit is home or house and cholim is sick people.
Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
In this lesson, you are going to learn how to introduce yourself in Hebrew. In Hebrew, there is no formal and informal language. You can use this introduction in both cases and keep it simple. However, in Hebrew, there is a difference between male and female language. Let's first see how Israeli people introduce themselves in a simple way. Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod. Hi, I'm Yana, it's a pleasure. Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod. Start by saying Shalom, ani, then saying your name. Shalom, ani Yana. Finally say na'im meod. Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod. And now let's see the same sentence if you wish to be more specific in addressing the person you are introduced to. If you're introducing yourself to a woman, you should say, Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod lehakir otach. Hi, I'm Yana. It's a pleasure to meet you. Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod lehakir otach. If you are talking to a man, you should say, Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod lehakir otcha. Hi, I'm Yana. It's a pleasure to meet you. Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod lehakir otcha. So, what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at this together. The last part of the introduction has been changed based on the gender of the person you are talking to. Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod lehakir otach for a woman versus Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod lehakir otcha for a man. Ani, in this case, has not been changed, and in both cases stands for I am, regardless of your gender. The last sounds of the last word changes, however. Otach, if you are talking to a woman, and otcha, if you are speaking to a man. One more time. The simple way to introduce yourself in Hebrew is Shalom, ani Yana, na'im meod. In case you want to personalize the greeting, you say שלום, אני יאנה. נעים מאוד להכיר אותך. שלום, אני יאנה. נעים מאוד להכיר אותך. Now it's time for Yana's insights. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands in Israel. If you don't want to worry about using the right word for men and women, just say na'im me'od, as I said at the beginning of this lesson. There is no cultural importance if you add the last part to the introduction. It just makes the sentence more complete. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Hebrew. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. אתם מוכנים? Are you ready? אז בואו נתחיל. So let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. תודה. תודה. תודה means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add רבה. תודה רבה. תודה רבה. רבה means a lot. So תודה רבה is like saying thank you very much. During the last lesson, we mentioned two ways of addressing someone, depending on his or her gender. תודה or תודה רבה can be used with anyone. But in case you want to personalize the greeting, there is another phrase you should use. If you want to thank a woman, you say תודה רבה לך. תודה רבה לך. Now, if you want to thank a man, you say תודה רבה לך. תודה רבה לך. Let's break this phrase down. לך means something like to you when you're talking to a woman. תודה רבה לך is thank you very much. לך is to you when you're talking to a man. תודה רבה לך is thank you very much. How do you answer? It's easy. There are two ways to answer. The first one is simple. You're welcome. בבקשה. בבקשה. It's the simplest way to answer. But it is more polite to say אין בעד מה. אין בעד מה. Its literal meaning is it's nothing, and it is a common and polite way to respond to someone thanking you. So when someone is saying תודה or תודה רבה to you, we can simply reply with בבקשה or אין בעד מה. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying תודה. In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Israel. אתם מוכנים? Are you ready? אז בואו נתחיל. So let's start. The most used greeting is Shalom. Shalom. We also saw it in the first lesson. Shalom simply means hi or hello. It can also mean goodbye. We use it when we meet, but also can use it when we part. Shalom means something like peace, so it makes the greeting very special. It is common to say shalom in both informal and formal situations, and at any time of the day. In the morning, you can also greet people with Boker Tov. Boker Tov, which means good morning. Boker is morning, and Tov is good. During the evening, we also say Erev Tov. Erev Tov. Erev is Hebrew for evening, so Erev Tov means good evening. Boker Tov and Erev Tov are used when we meet someone, but when we leave, we don't say them again. Another way to say goodbye in Hebrew is lehitraot. Lehitraot. It is actually more common to use lehitraot than shalom when leaving. But most people in Israel just say bye. Bye! Now you can greet people in many different ways in Hebrew. Let's review them all again. When meeting people in formal and informal situations, shalom. In the morning until the afternoon we say boker tov, and in the evening erev tov. When living in any situation, lehitraot, or simply bye. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Yana's insights. In formal situations, Israeli people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. On the other hand, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we kiss each other on one cheek. Don't be afraid to do it with your Israeli friends. It's normal. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to talk about your nationality. When you meet a new person in Israel, they might ask you, מאיפה את? Or, מאיפה אתה? Which is literal to where are you from? Do you remember what at and אתה mean? מאיפה is where from, and the additional pronoun refers to the person, either man or woman. מאיפה את? מאיפה אתה? Answering this question is very easy. You just say אני, then me, and then your country. For example, אני מאמריקה. אני מאמריקה. Its literal meaning is I'm from America. Just replace America with your own country. I'm from Germany is אני מגרמניה. I'm from Italy is אני מאיטליה. I'm from Brazil is אני מברזיל. This phrase can be used both by male and female speakers, so it's easy. To return the question, you can simply say ואת or ואתה, which is and you. Again, this depends on the gender of whom you are asking. If you are talking to a man, you should say ואתה, and for a woman is ואת. In the last lesson, we learned how to talk about nationality. This time, we are going to learn how to describe your location. When you want to know where someone is, you can use the verb נמצא for a man or נמצאת for a woman in Hebrew. For example, when someone asks you on the phone, איפה את נמצאת? Or איפה אתה נמצא? That means, where are you? Let's break it down. איפה means where. It is the same איפה as מאיפה את or מאיפה אתה from the last lesson. את or אתה you know already. And נמצאת or נמצא means located or situated. Altogether, it is איפה את נמצאת? איפה את נמצאת? Or for a guy, איפה אתה נמצא? איפה אתה נמצא? Answering this question is very easy. You just say אני ב and the place where you are. So for example, you can say אני ברחוב דיזינגוף. I am on Dizengoff Street. אני ברחוב דיזינגוף. Now let's see a few other possible answers. I'm at the office would be אני במשרד. I'm in the meeting would be אני בפגישה. I'm in a store would be אני בחנות. These prefixes are an important part of Hebrew grammar, like prepositions in English. Let's review a few of the main prefixes we have used so far. We had ו for adding, like in 55 shekel. ה, determining specific item, location, time, etc. Like in מה את עושה בסוף השבוע? מה אתה עושה בסוף השבוע? in, inside, as in עברית ב3 דקות. or me. From מאיפה את? מאיפה אתה? אני מאמריקה. These prefixes are very important, so please pay attention and don't confuse them. Now it's time for Yana's insights. For a good practice of the prefix be, just try to look at the map of Israel and use any street or location to describe where you're at. It's a great way to learn your way around in Israeli streets and work on your pronunciation as well. אני ברחוב בן יהודה. I'm on Ben Yehuda Street. In the last lesson, we learned how to talk about your location and the importance of various prefixes. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to talk about your age. It's normal for young people in Israel to ask each other's age. Of course, it might be risky to ask people over 30. If someone asks you, ben kama ata, or bat kama at, just know that it means how old are you, depending on your gender, of course. Ben kama ata, for a guy. בת כמה את? For a girl. Do you remember the word כמה? We learned it in lesson 8 when asking כמה זה עולה. So כמה in general refers to number or quantity. Now you have to answer with your age. In Hebrew we say אני, I am, then use the same word ben or bat, depending on your gender, and then your age. Here are some examples. I am 18. אני בן 18, if you're a man. אני בת 18, if you're a woman. I'm 20. אני בן 20, if you're a man. אני בת 20, if you're a woman. I'm 25. אני בן 25, if you're a man. אני בת 25, if you're a woman. I am 40. אני בן 40, if you're a man. אני בת 40, if you're a woman. Isn't it easy? You just say אני, ben or bat, and your age. Let's do some more practice. I will ask you your age twice, one for each gender, and give you a moment to answer. Answer after the sentence that corresponds to your gender. Ready? בן כמה אתה? בן כמה אתה? בת כמה את? בת כמה את? Great job! Here is a tip to remember easily. Ben in Hebrew also means boy, and bat means girl. So you can easily remember when asking about a girl's age or a boy's age. Now it's time for Yana's insights. In more official situations, it is common to guess one's age by asking if he or she is a university student or working after graduation, etc. University students' ages in Israel are different than in other countries. Mostly it varies between 20 to 25 years old. So keep that in mind.
Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
שלום,
שלום,
מה שלומך?
בסדר, תודה. שלום, קוראים לי טל.
שלום, אני יעל.
נעים מאוד.
נעים מאוד גם לי. ברוך הבא. כנס בבקשה.
תודה. הנה מתנה קטנה ממני. בבקשה.
תודה רבה.
בבקשה.
אאו. סליחה,
מה?
כף הרגל שלי.
או, סליחה.
ערב טוב.
שלום. אפשר לקבל תפריט?
ודאי.
סליחה. אפשר כוס מים בבקשה?
מיד.
סליחה. אפשר להזמין?
כן.
First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
גבר ואישה מדברים. מה הם הולכים לעשות קודם?
מה את רוצה לעשות היום?
אני רוצה ללכת לראות סרט.
אוקיי, אני רוצה לצפות במשחק בייסבול בטלוויזיה.
אני גם רוצה לעשות קניות.
משחק הבייסבול מתחיל בשעה 1.
אוקיי, אז בוא נלך לראות את הסרט קודם, ואז תוכל לצפות במשחק הבייסבול.
בסדר, אז נעשה קניות בערב.
מה הם הולכים לעשות קודם? גבר ואישה מדברים. מה הם הולכים לעשות קודם?
מה את רוצה לעשות היום?
אני רוצה ללכת לראות סרט.
אוקיי, אני רוצה לצפות במשחק בסבול בטלוויזיה.
אני גם רוצה לעשות קניות.
משחק הבייסבול מתחיל בשעה 1.
אוקיי, אז בוא נלך לראות את הסרט קודם, ואז תוכל לצפות במשחק הבייסבול.
בסדר, אז נעשה קניות בערב.
אישה אוכלת ארוחת צהריים במסעדה. מה היא הולכת להזמין?
תרצי קפה או קינוח אחרי הארוחה?
איזה קינוחים יש לכם?
יש לנו פודינג ועוגת תפוחים.
בעצם אני רק רוצה קפה, בבקשה.
תרצי סוכר וחלב?
תביא אותו עם חלב, בבקשה. מה היא הולכת להזמין? אישה אוכלת ארוחת צהריים במסעדה. מה היא הולכת להזמין?
תרצי קפה או קינוח אחרי הארוחה?
איזה קינוחים יש לכם?
יש לנו פודינג ועוגת תפוחים.
בעצם אני רק רוצה קפה, בבקשה.
תרצי סוכר וחלב?
תביא אותו עם חלב, בבקשה.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.